You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. I think we had a little technical issue right there. We'll see if we can get that corrected. Current events, most of all. You gotta love technology. Now I know why you're not on technology, Tom. But we love it anyway. Where was I? Let's see. Well, what the heck? Let's just introduce our guest today. I'm not going to even go into it. I won't get the music for you yet. Tom Borsuk's in the house. We are chatting today. We've got a great broadcast lined up for you this morning. Got some fancy and some fascinating fascinating information. Chatting about maybe it's not quite your grandmother's retirement home. We'll chat with Tom about that. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Some days are a little bit more exciting celebrations than others. Today is National Answer the Phone Like Buddy the Elf Day. I don't think that's so exciting. But having beaten anorexia, we might look at National Roast Suckling Pig Day. Some people say I look like a pig, but we won't go there either. Let's check out the markets on the seesaw that we've been on. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 292 points. I would be very, very careful of that. Oil. Now here's an interesting one. Oil is down $2.65 per barrel, down $2.65 a barrel. What does that mean to you? I think it's 69 straight days of lower gas prices. Nationally, we're looking at $2.36.9. In Taxofornia, at about $1, $3.39.9. Missouri is still leading the country at $1.95.5 per gallon. We are in the state of confusion. We like taxes, the more the merrier, so we will continue to charge ourselves as much money as possible. Fannie Mae 30-year bond up 16 basis points. U.S. 10-year Treasury down 3 basis points. That is some of the interesting news of the day. We are watching the Fed Watch. Yes, we're not going to see a whole heck of a lot today because the Federal Reserve is meeting today, trying to figure out what they're going to do. The actual announcements will come tomorrow. About a 70% chance now is what the marketplace is saying, that we will raise interest rates once again starting tomorrow from the Fed funds rate. And then we'll see what they have to say about next year. Are we going to raise it once, twice, 4 times? We'll see. Hopefully they'll start looking at the data instead of trying to just play politics with this. But that is kind of the way of the world right now. Continue to see what's going on there. But the statement afterwards, it fascinates me watching or listening to the press conferences after a Federal Reserve meeting. Yes, I know I have no life, but I do still watch those things. Crazy. Because all they care about, they're looking for what is the one word that the Federal Reserve changed from last statement. Now, they would really drive everybody nuts if they started from scratch and didn't just duplicate from last time to this time. Just saying, it would be kind of funny just to watch the talking heads go nuts trying to figure out what do they mean. Moving right along, what else is in the news? We are watching, did you catch it all, Jim Comey yesterday? He is just...
I got a bad feeling about this.
What a piece of work. Unbelievable how this guy can stand up there and says that the president is lying after he says over 200 times, I don't remember. Now, he wrote down everything. He recorded everything. He wrote a book to tell everything. But when it comes to being under oath, I can't remember. I would have loved to just see one of the Congress people pull out his book and say, well, Mr. Comey, on page 712, this is what you said. Do you remember now? Unbelievable. It's just...
nothing like a little air superiority.
Yeah, crazy. And then we watch today, we've got the sentencing of Michael Flynn. I hope the judge just throws this whole thing out of court. It would be great if he did it. I know that I've seen some news coming across already, and I don't think they've finalized the announcement, but I think that it would be great if the judge would just throw the whole bloody thing out of court and say, you know something? The FBI was misleading. We can't do that in the United States. You're supposed to have due process. I think there was something called Miranda rights that are supposed to be dealt with. And the FBI can't just walk in and try and do these things to people. Just my opinion, but hey, you know something? It's my show, so that's what I give you as my opinion. Very difficult for me to give you somebody else's opinion. Speaking of somebody else's opinion and a real, well, I better not say what I really think, Robert De Niro. Unbelievable. Here's another lunatic. Now, I don't know about you, but I had a friend of mine ask me, hey, Ron, do you want to go to Lido Island and go to Nobu? And I said, not a chance in the world. They said, it's a really good restaurant. I said, yeah, but De Niro owns it, and he might be there. I wouldn't even want to support anything the clown does. 75-year-old actor told CNN that Trump's tenure in the White House will be, quote unquote, one of those things that people will look back on years from now and recall, remember all that stuff, how terrible it was. Yeah, how terrible it was that De Niro didn't have some cotton in his mouth. That would be the idea of what might be there. Unbelievable. Another story in the news, we're checking this one out. 2 alleged Antifa activists accused of attacking a pair of Marines in Philadelphia were ordered to stand trial just after Christmas on aggravated assault and conspiracy charges following a dramatic day of testimony last week in which the Marines described being beaten and called ethnic slurs. The only way that any of these Antifa loons could have taken on 2 United States Marines is if the Marines just were holding back, right? I mean, can you imagine those balloons? They have no guts at all, and trying to take on some Marines, I think it shows extreme discipline that the Marines didn't beat the holy tar out of these characters. Unbelievable. I saw this story, and I have to share it with you, and the only way I can really do it justice, Tom, you might like this one. I mean, just because it is a little bit of fun. It's not my normal that I would harass you about, but you and I do have some fun chatting a little bit about colleges. Mm-hmm. So here, and I don't know about you. I mean, I was a fairly decent student in school. Mm-hmm. I was very lucky because I didn't have to study a whole lot, and I was able to get good grades. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking now, there's a lot of students around the country. They're at the time of year where they've got midterms. Mm. And in this day and age, when you have to talk about the snowflakes on college campuses, we couldn't get away with this. But nowadays, the snowflakes on college campuses, they get a little stressed out at midterms. So we did do a little bit of research and found out just a few things of what the students nowadays, and I know what we did in college to solve this stress relief there. But Middlebury College in Vermont, according to the Institute of International Studies in Monterey, I guess monitors as Middlebury College is hosting a distress room in which students have the opportunity to color with crayons and breathe their stress away with free essential oils, coloring books, Play-Doh, hot tea, and a foot and neck massager. Now, they charge $70,000 to go to Middlebury College. They should have that for everybody, right? I mean, just the stress relief. I think everyone wants some crayons at Middlebury College.
Well, especially the Play-Doh.
Yeah, Play-Doh.
Huge.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Exactly. Now, the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, named after Jeffrey, the British guy, they give students a chance to receive acupuncture and go to meditation classes for their distress. The University of Nebraska, Omaha, they provide a shuttle for students to go to a shopping mall. Yep, named Nebraska Crossing. Students will enjoy a 3-hour shopping trip at the mall and are provided with a free Nebraska Crossing goodie bag. I can't make this stuff up. I've got a couple more. Buffalo State University, upstate New York, students have a distress fest where they're offered hot chocolate, music, crafts, and even a photo with Santa. This is at Buffalo State University. I wonder what their football team does. Finally, Emerson College in Boston has a Cirque de Distress stay where students can sign up for appointments to be with a therapy dog. Now, I have a therapy dog, Sydney. Sydney would bite any of these stressed students and see what they have to say. But Emerson kids can also take advantage of a chair massage in addition to doing arts and crafts. Now, Tom, I know you deal with seniors. This is the future seniors that you're going to be dealing. That's going to be the future.
Not me.
I mean, can you imagine that? Unbelievable. You can't make that stuff up. I don't write them, as Coach Bruce would say if he was on with us. But that is just a few of the issues that our future American leaders are dealing with. And the worst part is, thank goodness, I have no kids in college, because if I had to talk about paying $70,000 for my kids to go and play with Play-Doh and coloring books and crayons, I think I might be a little upset.
I like the neck massage thing. That's pretty good.
I'll take the neck massage. I can handle that one.
That would have helped some of my grades.
But maybe, I won't even go there. Anything we say will get us in trouble. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, chatting with Tom Borsuk. He's dealing not your grandma's retirement community. We'll chat about it, why houses do not sell in a strong market. And is it a good time to refinance my car loan? We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject exchange without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. They're the only one I know of with the Fast Pass Loan Approval Gold Star Mortgage. What is happening in the Mortgage Minute today? Well, we've talked to you earlier in the broadcast. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 316 points. NASDAQ up 86.5 points. The S&P 500 up 26 points. But we also look at the U.S. 10-year Treasury. That is down 3 basis points. And the Fannie Mae 30-year bond, that is up. The bond itself is up 16 basis points, which means interest rates are down today. All of that, as I tell you on a regular basis. Yeah, you can go to google.com and find that out. So what are you listening to me for? Well, here's the reason I recommend you listen every morning is because I'm going to tell you why these things are happening and what you may want to be watching out for. I'm going to tell you a little bit here. The stocks, they're higher, recouping some of their losses from the past week. But I'm going to also tell you that could change quickly. We don't trust the rally in stocks. As we have seen this movie before, mortgage bonds are continuing to move higher, but are now trading just beneath the formidable 200-day moving average, which will provide stiff resistance. The Fed begins their 2-day meeting today. We've talked about that one in the past as well. And I also believe the Fed is going to increase their interest rates. I've talked to you about that. Historically, mortgage bonds do well when the Fed hikes because it curbs inflation. The Fed's comments on future hikes will be very important. Housing starts, which gives us a decent reading on new construction, showed that starts were up 3.2% in the month of November. The gain was stronger than estimates, but was partially offset by some slight downward revisions to October. When taking into account the revisions, they were still up 2.3%, but you gotta look deeper at the numbers. All of the gains were in the multifamily area when single-family starts fell by 40,000 units. So we're gonna watch those numbers for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. So let's continue our conversation, or start our conversation with type. We've had it in the past. We chat on a regular basis with our friend Tom Borsuk, Senior Samaritans, and we always start his broadcast segment. Got to do that for you, just to keep you happy, Tom.
Painful in the morning. By the way, I missed the game this year. I didn't get to see it. What was the score?
Something. I was in Paso Robles drinking wine, so I don't remember either.
I can't remember the score. USC, UCLA. I can't remember who won that game.
I don't know. Actually, this year, if it was a USC game, probably anybody that was playing USC. And probably, in my opinion, probably for years to come, it'll be anybody playing USC because they still decided, yeah, we don't need a coach on this team.
Coach, yeah, I was happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
It's like keeping Nancy Pelosi. It's like good.
Yeah, just amazing. Isn't that amazing, right? I mean,
stunning.
Holy cow. So we don't have other things to chat about other than the fact that I know that you are a big-time fan of the USC Bruins and the fight song.
Back into a live show. We are reconnecting you.
So let's chat. You know, I hear this all the time, Tom, and it's one of those things that I love chatting with you about it because we've still got this major misconception. Right now, I just heard this recently again that somebody said, well, there's no way that I'm going to ever let my loved one go to a home. And ironically enough, here's a very fascinating one, and I shouldn't say this, but I will. Alex, I agree with you. You're right. I need a de-stressor also. I'll get you a box of crayons. I'll have them delivered to you.
And Play-Doh.
And Play-Doh, right? I have a friend of mine that it's a fascinating story because I don't know if you deal with this much. His sister at birth was diagnosed with Down syndrome. And family decided that they weren't going to go with a community route. And now she's 64 years old. And, you know, that's pretty rare for somebody with Down syndrome to live that long. And they've just found now that it's probably in her best interest to go into a community. But my point is, and the reason I bring this up is that for a lot of people, the community actually is a much better way of life for them.
That's exactly right.
Right? And, you know, in her case, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You know, you never want to second guess anything.
Right.
But, you know, the way they've changed some of these communities now. You know, talk a little bit about the services that they have. I mean, at my age, probably 5 years from now, I'd love to go to one of these communities.
They're amazing. Actually, it's just it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And especially in the senior world, you got to think about their perspective. Their parents or their grandparents, so three generations up from us, all there were nursing homes, right? Just nursing homes only. So when they say, don't ever put me in a home, that's what they're referring to. In fact, just yesterday I was in a nursing home and the Christmas carolers came through the nursing home and they were singing Christmas carols, and I said, I remember doing that when I was a little boy. It's like you'd go to the nursing home and sing Christmas carols.
Sure. And I know what you probably were singing.
I'm a glutton for punishment. So the point is that they don't know anything but nursing homes. So of course they're going to say, don't ever put me in a home. Who wants to go there? That's not where you want to live.
You know something, and with all of the times you and I have chatted, we've really not used the two terms, right? We've talked about retirement communities, but there's a big difference between a retirement community and a nursing home.
Correct. One's a medical facility and one's a community. So
right.
Hence the term, facility versus community.
Sure.
Yeah, you go to a facility to get rehabilitation of something. You go to a community to where you would live, and it's actually exactly what it is. It's not nursing home at all. It's actually can be a beautiful community where they have all kinds of amenities, and the term community. You have other people that you can hang out with, other people that share your interests, other people that you can go get on the shuttle bus and go to the Getty Museum with, discover art, listen to music, share things that are people in your age range and or have similar needs, or perhaps they lost a loved one in their life and they're stuck in a 4 or 5 bedroom home that they lived in for 35 to 60 years. Their kids are gone off to college and they're in this home all by themselves.
And they're sitting there waiting for somebody to call them.
Yeah, why not go to a community where you have everything there, and you can also be as independent as you like. It's not like, oh, now all of a sudden you're with all these people. You can have your own place and be in your own space as much as you wish, and then participate as much as you wish.
I've do a lot of seminars, and at the seminars I do, I am training different professionals, and a lot of them we talk about on a regular basis. Hey, build your business around people that are like-minded, right? So I've got a brother-in-law that's been successful up in Washington, and he's in financial services, and he's built his business around people that like to ski and people that like to fish. Can you find communities that are of people that like to maybe ski or fish or play cards or golf?
Absolutely. It just depends on what the needs are and what your interests are. Obviously, sometimes seniors as they age, they're looking for some possible assistance going forward with maybe some of their needs. So they might find a community that provides some of those needs. Might not be so active like fishing or hiking or any of that stuff. It might be more like what they enjoy is like a bridge club.
Okay.
Love that.
So it's geared toward a senior, what senior activities would be.
Absolutely. And if there's a senior...
And they're probably not going to be out there playing soccer.
Right, right. But if there are seniors that have that need for hiking and things like that, and they want more of that, then they would have communities that are people like that. But most of the seniors today are looking for just the companionship. They're not alone. They have people that share their interests intellectually more than physically these days, right?
And it's kind of apropos for the conversation you and I had before we went on air. The other part of it is it can be, I shouldn't say, I would assume it can be more stimulating. Right, because instead of sitting there watching their dumb devices and hitting, I talked to a lot of seniors, and they all tell me the common thing is they use Facebook, and some of them are starting to go to Instagram now, basically just for the purpose of stalking.
Yeah.
They want to watch what their kids and grandkids are doing, and they don't ever comment on it, they just want to watch.
Right.
How stimulating is that for someone's mind?
Yeah, terrible. I mean, it's there's all kinds of studies. You probably have lots of results on this where just the human interaction per day is needed just for your well-being in having 7 or 8 conversations with another human being per day. And if you're at home,
and it's not about the Play-Doh.
It's not about, although you can add Play-Doh.
Okay, we can add Play-Doh. And Alex, I will get you that 64 count. That's good. I understand that one. Alex wants the 64 count box of crayons with the built-in sharpener.
I was going to say, you got to have the sharpener.
Exactly. And we'll get you a little Play-Doh, too. We're going to talk more with Tom Borsuk when we come back. Senior Samaritans is the name of the company. And I just harass him with the USC fight song. It is a little bit of fun for him.
Where's the 8 clapper? I need the 8 clapper.
I don't know how to talk about your clap. Why houses do not sell in a strong market. It's a good time to refinance my car loan. Is it? We'll talk about that and more. You can reach me anytime off air. Number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And good morning, Andy. Glad to see you with us today. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Why houses do not sell in a strong market. Am I saying that we're in a strong market now? Well, it depends on your neighborhood. Some neighborhoods are, some neighborhoods are not. But as we approach the end of the year, many homeowners find themselves asking the question, if we're currently in a strong real estate market, why won't my house sell? Well, I'm going to give you 5 most common reasons why a listing contract will expire. And the number 1 day of the year for expired listings is December 31st. Number 2 day of the year for expired listings is December 30th. There are some real estate agents who don't realize there's 31 days in December, so that's why that's the second most. First off, the reason, the price. Sometimes when the market is hot, homeowners attempt to set their listing price too high. Their hope is that a motivated buyer will be willing to pay any price for a house in their desired neighborhood. Sellers must remember, though, that in today's market, a house must be sold twice. First to the buyer and then to their bank. Hopefully, you only have to pay one commission. A buyer can agree to pay the homeowner's asking price, but after the bank conducts their appraisal, the price might need to be adjusted. The bank will only give the buyer a mortgage for the value of determined in the appraisal. Sellers must also keep in mind that today's home buyers are well educated. Before they look to buy a house, they have already seen many houses online. They've done their research on the neighborhood that they are interested in, including information on the school districts and the area. Condition of the house is going to play a part of it. The seller's motivation, the marketing plan. Yes, you've got to have a real estate agent that understands marketing, and the lack of communication with the agent. You better keep an open line of communication with that agent if you want to get your house sold. There are houses selling every single day because they are listed at the right price. They have the right marketing plan, and they are staged for the sale. If for some reason your home didn't sell and you're still motivated to get it sold, give me a call, 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with a real estate professional that can help you get it sold. They may not tell you what you like to hear, but they'll tell you what you need to hear to get that property on the market and get it sold. I don't know anybody that likes to have their house listed for sale. They want them sold. That is the real-time real estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Alex, you've got a great question there. wanting to know, how do you deal with the high price of the communities? And I'm going to suggest to you that high is a relative term, right? Because I know I've sent some listeners over to Tom, and I think, I shouldn't say I think, I know one of them had was about $900 a month. I think was his total expense, and I think his Medicare, Medi-Cal, something like that. It's one of those care medis covered almost the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was in Huntington Beach or area, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to throw it to the expert here.
Yeah.
What is the price range that you find communities at?
Well, it's obviously it varies like anything, but it can low end. Really, I did one yesterday, 1,300.
1,300.
Yeah, and you got it up to 9,000, right? And in between. Sweet spot, probably 3,000 to 5,000. Got to consider, though, that it's also, what that includes is the ability to eliminate any costs that you have at home. So anything you're paying for at home, rent, mortgage, electricity, food, all the stuff you're paying for at home, gone. And replaced with a community that's providing all of that. So that 1,300, for example, is providing a room and board for this particular low income person, as well as food, utilities, laundry service. So all those expenses are included in that 1,300. So really, the rest of it is spending money for them of their income. In this particular case, the income was $2,000, so they have $700 now. Their disposable income is $700. They can pay for a cell phone. They can get some clothes. They can buy gifts for their family over Christmas, or they can save. I'm convincing him to save $500 of that $700 and put it in the bank. And in a year, he'll have $6,000, and in 2 years, he'll have $12,000. All of a sudden, he's got money in the bank. That's the way to do it. So you have to have that knowledge that you're actually saving. You're eliminating expense over on this side, and you're including an expense which is food, utilities, laundry, lodging, all that. And again, that's the low end. But the middle of the road, 3,000 to 3,500 is kind of the sweet spot for assisted livings in general. And there's a ton of factors involved in that. Is it a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, location, blah, blah, blah.
So what we're really looking at is and this is one of the things that I share with a lot of folks that we send Tom's way. And I got to tell you that I've had unbelievable success, and the reports that people give me back, I hear that all the time, as to the comments, the return comments, so to speak, as far as what their experience was, and they love Tom. I mean, I don't know why. He's a UCLA fan, so I tell him not to hold that against him. But it's really a math game, and I know that part of your process, though, is you sit down with the folks ahead of time to look at what all these different issues are, right?
Most definitely. I mean, the key is to understand the estate of the family involved, and the estate being everything they own, what's their recurring income, what are their recurring expenses, what things can we eliminate, what things can we not. So there's really a budgetary process to the whole thing, and then understanding I may be able to add some income to that. Perhaps if they're a veteran, for example, I can get some additional funding possibly for them. The state may contribute, like you mentioned in the Medi case. Medi-Cal can help with some of the housing. There's factors involved in all that, but it's really sitting down and understanding the estate. So really estate planning, if you will, about everything, and then understanding and determining, okay, now what are our options? Not just what kind of options are there. That's a loaded question.
Sure.
It really depends on the estate and everything they needed, and you figure all that out, then understand options, then go see communities that are within those options, and then that determines what we go, and it kind of builds a range of pricing, budgetary range for us to go look at communities in that range.
Now, here's a concept. I mean, when you think about this, and I think you and I spoke about this once before, that there's one of the high-end communities is in Corona Del Mar.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month.
Depends, yeah.
Well, think about what a mortgage would be in Corona Del Mar.
Yeah.
Right, so you're not going to find too many pieces of property under $2 or $3 million there.
Right.
So if you had $2 or $3 million and you just put that in the bank at 5% return on investment, or you put it into the property that's going to get you a zero rate of return.
Right.
But you're still going to have to pay. It's still going to have a cost to it.
That's right.
And then you're going to still be dealing with all of the utilities and cleaning and maintenance and
upkeep,
gardener and all that, whatever, or homeowners association or whatever. So it's a big bundle.
Exactly right. And you got to remember that includes, there's no worry about having to shop, having to cook, having to clean.
But you can.
You can. Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not like I can't have I don't have any yet, but I couldn't have grandkids. I could have my grandkids come over and still have grandma's cookies.
Yeah, there's plenty of communities that actually have a half kitchen or a full kitchen, washer, dryer, because you can cook as much as you want. It's just available if you wish to do that in your. That's what I'm saying. You can be as independent as you really wish and still cook at home if you want, or the community provides all that for you as well.
So instead of me going out to a restaurant, there's a community facility to eat at.
Yeah, and sometimes multiple. There's a couple of communities that have 2 or 3 restaurants in them. So you get that variety, and you get that variety in food and people and atmosphere, even just within your community if you don't feel like venturing out, but you can also still venture out.
Okay, so let's throw this one misconception, or maybe I'm missing it. Is there many options in Orange County, San Diego County, Riverside County, or is there only maybe a handful of places I can go to?
For assisted living?
In general, for the communities, or, I mean, what kind of option?
Hundreds.
So there's no possible way. It's like me going to look at open houses, right? I can probably go out this weekend and see 400 open houses.
Yep. Depends on area, depends on price, depends on, there's lots of options. In fact, as an example, I toured a family. They're in one particular area in the county. We saw they wanted to keep seeing many homes before they're going to take their dad to go make the ultimate decision. He's very independent. He's 94 years old, fully independent. Walks, talks, everything's 100% fine. So we saw they wanted to see 8 communities, and so there's 8 options just within the geographic area that they want. Just
in that geography.
Just in that geography. And
that met their needs as well. I mean, it's not just that it's 8 in that area,
right,
but it's 8 in that area that met their needs.
Correct. And that's just one area of Orange County. So if they open it all up to Orange County, there's hundreds.
Interesting. We're going to talk more with Tom Borsuk when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Yes, Alex, I will get you Tom's contact information. He's a great guy and helped, like I say, a lot of our friends. So I will get that to you. Anybody that wants Tom's information, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I will be more than happy to send you Tom's information. We're going to also chat a little bit about, is it good time to refinance my car loan? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the
The Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rates subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. Is it a good time to refinance my car loan? That's the question. You're taking out a car loan. It isn't a life sentence, and you're not necessarily stuck with the original terms of the loan. You can always reach out to your lender and ask, can I refinance my car loan? If your lender says yes, you could save hundreds or thousands of dollars on your current loan. The main question, though, isn't can I refinance my car loan, but is it a good time to refinance my car loan? The good news is that regardless of how long you've had your loan, there's no minimum amount of time you have to wait before refinancing your current car loan. Loans can be refinanced immediately after you purchase the car, even before you make your first payment. The most important thing is to ensure that refinancing saves you money and won't end up spending more money. How do you do it? Well, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is go to a financial institution, go online, go to a credit union, bank, tell them what you have, tell them about your car, your make, model, year, VIN, and get a cost estimate. Make sure there is a good reason to do it. If maybe your credit score went up, maybe you've talked to our friends over at Blue Water Credit Sanitizer, and they've helped get your credit scores up. You might be in a high-priced loan and you don't need that anymore. Get that lower payment. Don't go extending the term long-term. That's not what's in your best interest. But let's just talk about it. Give me a call. We'll chat about it and see if it makes sense for you. Again, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. We are continuing our conversation. Tom Borsuk is in the house. We're chatting a little bit about his favorite subject. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't the favorite subject.
I don't know. I can't remember the score.
You're trying to score. Is that what you're trying to say?
What was the score?
You're trying to score?
Okay, let me look it up. Can you look it up? I know you're.
Oh, okay. On all this.
What was the score?
Maybe this one will make you happier. Having a little bit of fun with Tom here. He's a UCLA guy, and I'm a USC fan. So we have fun. But let's chat a little bit more. We're talking about the senior community. So Tom, you made some comments earlier that I want to drill down on a little bit, because you're actually getting into a lot of different areas. So part of what you're doing before you even go out with a senior is you're kind of an estate planning consultant.
That's right.
Sounds like, right? Because you're looking at what their estate looks like, and you're giving them some ideas on saving some money.
That's right.
So
I'm also trying to find the score. I found it, 34-27. Imagine that.
34-27.
Wow.
I think I've got a mute button on here, guys.
It's official. Imagine that. They won. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's exactly right. It's understanding really what their need. First and foremost, what are their needs? What do they want? What are they interested in? What do they want to do? Do they want a community? Do they want activities? Do they want to have things that are available to them outside the community? What is that? Start with that. Then, are there physical needs? Because they might be 75, 80, 90 in some cases.
Sure.
What are their physical needs?
We have a friend of ours that just moved into a community that's 94.
Yeah. What kind of needs do they have? And what kind of needs also I project in 94, right? Well, next year he's 95. Next year after that he's 96. So you got to forecast some needs as well. And can the community provide those in the future? You don't want to have to move into a community and then move again.
Right.
Right? So that's very important for projecting out, not only financially, but projecting out what the needs are and be able to financially provide for those as well.
Now, what if you have a senior couple and both parties have different? I'm sure they're gonna, if they're old enough, they're gonna have a lot of like needs or like want tos.
Yes.
But they may have differing needs.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So is that a possibility? Are there areas for that?
Absolutely right. And so a lot of communities have those multi-level type where you can provide care to one spouse, let's say it's spouses, and no care to the other one, and as needed.
What do you mean by care?
Care meaning if one spouse, I have, for example, a couple yesterday actually that where the husband needs a little bit of help with his activities of daily living, or ADLs, which is some bathing and dressing and toileting assistance, right?
Okay.
That the wife can't do for him anymore because she's 89 years old.
Sure.
So the community will provide that care while the wife is very independent. So she can just be the supportive spouse, the companion for him, and as she might need care later on, the community can provide that for her too. But it's a care provided individual response by the community. Whatever the care, whatever the individual needs, the community can provide that, and still provide independence for the other spouse. So that's the key too, is finding that community that can satisfy both needs of the spouses.
And that's where you come in.
Absolutely.
Right. So you're going out there all day, every day, and visiting these different communities. So you're doing the private shopping for me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I take a lot of that burden off of families, and a lot of families' struggles are they don't know what to ask. They don't know what to look for. If they go on their own, what happens is every community tells them how great their community is and that it's the best place to go, and they want them to move in, but it might not be the right fit. I have no bias to any community. My allegiance is to the family. I advocate for the family. So I know all the communities. So what I do is, after sitting down with the family and understanding all those needs and the financial landscape, is then deciding, okay, out of these 50 communities that are possible, let's narrow it down to these 4 or 5, and let's go focus on those. And if you like those, then great. If you need more, we'll have some more. But it's about focusing in.
And when you think about it, I mean, especially for a senior, it seems to me like this would be a traumatic time.
Most definitely, and most vulnerable, where the
that's a good point.
The senior abuse is rampant out there, and they will take advantage of them in a second. So I buffer that.
That's something, and that's an area that we don't even talk about very often. Is there's so many areas where there's senior abuse. Quick short stories. I was with a lady who touring her some places, and it was for her. She's 89 years old, very alert, very oriented. While we're on the tour, she had 2 or 3 phone calls from people who were trying to take money from her. And there were actually people calling from out of the country and trying to get her to go down to the Western Union to wire some money because they had an emergency and blah, blah, blah. And she told it, she hung up the phone and went, oh, there are those people again trying to call me, trying to get me to wire some money. And I've done it a few times before, but I stopped doing it. And it's like, oh my gosh. And that's how vulnerable they are. And we've talked about this before on Ron Siegel Radio, is that just, it drives me nuts Right. Anytime we can get information on some of these different scams, and we can share them.
Yeah.
If we can prevent one family, just one, from experiencing this.
Yeah, I had a lady that wired $300,000 out of the country, and the family couldn't stop her because they didn't have control of her finances yet. They had to go get conservatorship from the courts in order to stop their mother from wiring money to Never Land.
Yeah, those are the ones that really make you ill.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Happens a lot.
But you know something, and that's a great service then. So once you're dealing with the family and once you're dealing with the senior, then you can become that trusted advisor,
right?
And get them to hey, call Tom before you do XYZ.
Yeah, it's better just to have. That's the consultation part. Is let's see the whole picture first and kind of get a plan in place before we just rampantly go and select a place when you don't know what you're doing and what you're asking.
Especially when there's so many options out there. I mean, that's from what you're telling us. There's tons of options.
Mm-hmm.
So
and tons of things to think about that you wouldn't think about.
There you go. So you're gonna be able to mitigate that. But I go back to what I was starting at before, is that if you've got 50 options for this senior, and you're able to boil that down to just 3 or 4, it's not so overwhelming.
Exactly right.
And I can see that just from having what I went through with my own parents, that some decisions, you're used to your parents making these decisions as a very simple and normal course of business.
Yeah, and having me with them on the tour is helpful as well. I take the families on the tour, and that's key because the marketing person there who's trying to just get a sale, right?
Sure.
They're trying to sell them on stuff, and when I'm there, they know that they can't pull the wool over their eyes, so to speak, so I'm that buffer while we're on the tour. So when they show them the putting green or the pool or the whatever it is, if it doesn't apply to the scene,
showing them a pool and they don't like to swim.
Exactly. Forget that. Or showing it to the family member, and they're trying to sell the family member, but I say, it's not for you, it's for your mom. Keep your mom in mind when you're looking at these things.
What does it cost for your services?
0.
I like that.
Yeah, I like 0.
It's one of my favorite terms. You're getting paid from somebody else.
Yeah,
obviously you got to eat still.
Yeah, of course. Ultimately, I have again allegiance to my families, but I have an agreement. I set it up perfectly where I have an agreement with all communities in Orange County, and they'll pay me a one-time, not recurring, but one-time finder's fee for introducing that family to that community.
So it doesn't cost mom and dad a thing.
Nope. And it doesn't affect their rate. The rates are already predetermined by the community with or without me, so it doesn't cost them a thing.
Gotta love that. Want to meet Tom Borsuk? Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Be happy to introduce you. And as I always say, please set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, if you want to meet Tom Borsuk, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Let's go!